Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bama Standard, your number one source for Alabama football and Alabama legends. And we are live right now. I'm your host, over the hill powerlifter and Bama grad, Justin Riley. With me, as always, is a senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine and a man that Paul Feinbaum keeps on speed dial, Mr. Stephen M. Smith.
I'm waiting for my check, Paul. Where my check at? Money in, Paul. Got money right now.
Absolutely. And join us a little bit later will be comedy legend Steve Brown. We all know how he has to make a diva entrance. But while we wait on him, we have a guest in the building. It's probably one of the most electrifying men to ever wear crimson and white. And to properly introduce him, I'm going to turn the mic over to one of the greatest hype man in the business, Mr. Stephen M. Smith. If you would, please introduce the guest we have in the building right now.
Let me just tell you this right now, man. Before Pro Throw come on here, this was before Pro Throw. This is after, Deuce Palmer. But when I tell you this guy is smack dab in the middle of Palmer and Pro Throw, probably got a little bit better feet than both of them, just slightly better feet than both of them. I got to give to my man, AC the Carter man in the building. AC Carter, one of the greatest ever play here. What's going on, big man?
Man, how you guys doing? Thank you so much for the opportunity. What a blessing, man. I'm super, super excited. When Justin sent out the email and gave me the invite, man, I got electrified, especially on the week of the Gator game.
Gator week. Gator week.
No better. I want Gator tail tonight.
Yes, sir. I'm telling you, man. Hey, do you have to pay Florida child support because you are their daddy?
Man, I'm telling you. I know. They owe me a parking spot, man. They owe me a parking spot. Whenever Dan Mullen's parking, I need that.
I'm telling you, AC, they owe you, Sean Alexander, and Zal, all three of y'all. Man, you know what? Throw Freddie Miller's in there, too. Throw Freddie in there, too.
Phenomenal day, man. Never forget it.
Well, man, let's talk about that team. Before we actually talk about that game that, in the swamp in 1999, talk about how special that group was so we can give people, a proper intro into what happened that day.
Well, man, I'm going to just start with Zal. Phenomenal guy, great leader from the state of Florida as well. Was recruited by Florida, but then dropped by Florida. But, man, I tell you, man, what a wonderful leader he was. Chris Samuels, another guy that, held you accountable for your actions. Sean Draper.
Ooh, yes.
Sean Draper. Dustin McClintock. Tim Bowings, who's now doing great things, the head football coach at Clark University. Man, we played with some great guys. I'm just thinking, I don't remember if Paul was, but Paul Hogan. I just remember playing with some phenomenal guys. Cornelius Griffin. Guys, we had some great leaders. And I talk to a lot of the young guys these days now that the policing was done in the locker room. Coach Dubose and the coaches, they didn't have to do the policing. I'll tell you, the policing was done in the locker room. So when your policing is done in the locker room, it brings you closer. Those guys held us accountable. So, man, I was ecstatic to play with those great leaders and seniors.
Well, Stephen M. Smith, if you would, man, would you introduce our other guest who just walked in? And do it big now, just like you did AC.
I'm just saying, you know what? I'm going to introduce both of them, man. So first and foremost, we got the guy that does the best impersonation of me. We got Steve Brown. We talking like this. We got Steve Brown in here. But then, right along with Steve Brown, when I tell you, this is the wide receiver that got me in love with Alabama football. This dude right here. When I watched the sickest catch of all time against Southern Miss in 2005, that won the ESPY. I'm like, this dude is the OG of OGs. We got Tyrone Pro Throw.
Hey, man, you know what? I've noticed something, man. Every Bama legend that we've covered on this show always have a terrible ceiling fan. ceiling fan. Every
right now, man, I'm quarantined in my sunroom, man. I'm at home by myself. I'm in day 7.
Oh man.
So I'm locked in this room,
bro.
man. I appreciate it.
Hey man, hey you're looking good, man. So hey, that's all that counts. Now you
trying, man.
you're looking good. You probably ain't gonna make it, but you're looking good right now.
I appreciate it.
Hey Steve, do we need to start a GoFundMe account for that ceiling fan?
Hey man, every Bama standout. If it ain't the lamp, it's the ceiling fan. Hey, see, let me see your ceiling fan. I bet it got. Oh, see. Hey, AC is in the living room he grew up in. He at his mama's house. It's okay, fellas. It's good to see y'all, man. It's good to see y'all.
It's so good to see you guys, man.
Saban blew up Saban blew up twice during last week trying to get the guys' attention, but after seeing where folks were hitting Bryce Young and we had guys dropping passes, we had 8 or 9, 10 penalties, and Saban has to blow up one more time for folks to realize, oh snap, Nick ain't doing this for his health. He's trying to get our attention.
You can't play football with with the on and off switch. We're gonna turn it on one week and then we gonna and that to me, they wasn't playing up to the Bama standard at all. I mean when I think they cut the light switch on after that special teams score, but against Florida you could see the light switch was on before they even got off the bus. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of worried me a little bit.
By the second, third, and fourth quarter, you want to get your young guys in. Like you had fans that wanted to see how does Jalen Milroe look, but we didn't get a real chance to see that because the first team offense didn't handle business. You got folks that wanted to see, well, how does Paul Tyson look? But you really didn't get a chance to see that because first team didn't really get out there and lay down that law the way that they should have. Now, thankfully, though Mercer was doing all that cut blocking, and they nicked up Will Anderson there. Thankfully, it's just a sprain, and he had Monday off of practice. He worked today. He'll work tomorrow. I think he'll play against Florida.
Me too.
This is just a key that when you play these types of teams, take care of the job in the first quarter.
Yep.
Alabama did not do that.
Hey, now, Steven, now I thought it was just a bruised knee, but it was actually a light sprain.
It's in between. It's between a bruise and a sprain, just based on how he was walking. Because when Will got up, he did not have any assistance from the staff. He had maybe a slight hitch in his step, but it was like he walked on his own. So what that told me was nothing's torn, nothing's damaged. It's probably a bruise. It's probably a light sprain. But if you can tell, number 5 for Mercer was gunning for Will's knee every play.
Right. Yeah. Cut block.
Yeah.
Cut block.
I mean, that's a tough offense. Now that
that's an offense and a half.
Always, man. I played in that in high school. It's a very tough to stop because again, especially if you're doing your fundamentals and handling. Running the system correctly, it's a tough offense to stop. So, I mean, like I said, I want to give Mercer a lot of credit. We didn't play very well, but they played really, really good football.
So, AC, that offense that Mercer runs, it reminds me of a wing tee / wishbone.
That's exactly what it is. It's a wing tee, old school wing tee.
Yeah, but
got your back in the middle. Yeah. Yeah.
And the way they had the offensive line shifting and everything, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. They were putting up what you call a lot of window dressing. They were putting up.
I'm gonna tell you this. It's the Gus Malzahn wing tee. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you something. I was thrilled that the first team D was totally prepared for it because they were told. So the first team D is really, really looking good, man. And like I said, but besides those 2 hiccups in the back end were busted coverages, but other than that, man, they look really good, man. I was really, really happy about that.
I was proud of Kool-Aid McKinstry. Kool-Aid got the start in place of Armour Davis. I mean, he did have 6 tackles. He got a pick. Now, that pick was aided by Drew Sanders, who played very well out there. And even the play that happened on Kool-Aid's side, I mean, he'll get better from that. Freshman, no issue there. But I thought Kool-Aid played well.
Hold on. That play that happened on Kool-Aid's side, that was busted coverage on the free safety. That was he was supposed to come over. Kool-Aid was right then. Right. You didn't see Saban chewing him out, and then they talked about it. He was supposed to come over the top. He was in the middle of the field, but Kool-Aid was supposed to go with him for like probably 5-10 yards. It was kind of like a cover 2 in a sense. And then but the safety was playing in the middle of the field, but he was supposed to go over the top, and he never went. And Kool-Aid kind of let him go.
I'm gonna say this: Daniel Wright is my knuckleheaded son. I tried to push Daniel Wright in the portal. He didn't want to go in there. He wanted to come back another year. And that is what we're dealing with Daniel.
I like him. I like him. I like him.
He's not terrible. He's got talent. But it's like with Daniel, it's like all or nothing. He's either gonna gamble and make the play, or he gonna gamble and miss the play.
All right, well, I'm about to make a bold statement. And I don't know if you're going to cuss me out of my AC, Justin. I'm going to make a bold statement. Y'all, I ain't sold on Kool-Aid yet.
He's still young. I think he's
I mean, my thing is, he got a lot of hype behind him, but I mean, I like Amadea, and I mean, even though he's hurt, whatever his name is, I like him.
Steve said Armadillo.
And I said Amadeo, whatever his name is. Jalen I like him.
And I'll say this about Kool-Aid. Now, he is very talented. I think he'll be challenged this week. I think he has done some great things. I think he's improving. I mean, just his reaction and ball skills to get that interception off the deflection the other day was very impressive, to be alert and see that ball and keeping his eyes where it's supposed to be. So I see some high potential. Again, he just I ain't stamping him yet.
Exactly. That's me.
I'm not stamping him, but I think his potential is off the roof. And
now, you know what I do see? AC, you know what I do see, though? I see that he's always on the ball. That's a good look.
Great ball skill. That's what I'm saying. His alertness, understanding, and his ball skill, he's going to grow and learn. Coach Saban's defense is not easy to learn. So I'm sure he's still learning and going through that process. But to see where he's at now, I mean, I'm thumbs up with him, though.
Yeah, and then another bonus. Go ahead, Stephen. I'm sorry.
Now, of course, Malachi Moore should have had his second pick of the year.
Mm-hmm.
He got it, and it was taken back because of a penalty. So Malachi should have had career interception number 5.
Malachi's that dude.
And all those guys will be challenged this weekend. I mean, our back end going to be challenged. I think Florida has really 2 good quarterbacks. Dan Mullen is awesome offensive. Got to give Coach Mullins some credit. But those 2 quarterbacks, that young guy that's coming in from Pahokee, that 6'5" kid, is going to be phenomenal. And I think Jones is throwing the ball better than he was a year ago.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I don't think they're gonna be challenged because I think our D line is gonna come to play. I think the D line gonna come to play. I really believe that because Florida's O line is not that strong, and then you got to understand something. They're saying Florida doing this, Florida doing that, but look who they play. Who does Florida play so far? Central High School and who they play? County High. Who they play?
I think this is a big game for 2 people. Defensively, this is a big game for Drew Sanders because I think this is part 2 of Drew creating his own name. Because Drew is like, you go in the club, right, and you have a buddy with you. Your buddy know all the girls. He know the bartenders. He know the DJs. He know everybody. So you going to get that clout just standing next to him. I kind of feel the same between Will Anderson and Drew Sanders. Will and Drew both came in together, but Will got all the attention. So it's like because Drew was next to Will, folks like, oh, yeah, there's Drew right there. But I feel like this game right here is Drew's chance to stamp his own name. He's got a chance to stamp his own name in here.
So Drew is the other outside linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna he's the white guy, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about him, man. I watched him too. He stayed in the backfield. He stayed in the backfield. Now he didn't get it. And the thing is, I looked him up, man, and on YouTube, and he has pure speed. I think he played wide receiver, tight end, all that. So he has speed. So he's an athlete. So I'm start calling him white chocolate.
Hey, but now Sanders should have had a sack in that game. He spunt the man into DJ Dale. So
he should have had several sacks.
He should have had several.
Yeah.
But then offensively, man, I think this is the JoJo Earl game offensively.
Hey man, hold on. Let's back up with the JoJo Earl. I've seen him against Marshall several times. Let's stop comparing him to Jalen Waddle. Let's stop it right now. Let's stop it.
He ain't there yet. I understand that he ain't there yet.
No.
But what I'm saying is, for all the freshman receivers that came under Saban, it's always that SEC game that they open themselves up to the whole world and the whole world sees. Julio did it 08 with Georgia. Julio did it. Then 2012 Cooper did it. 2015 Calvin did it, and then down the line. This weekend, here's a moment for Earl to kind of say, hey, Nick Saban got a new freshman. Here I am.
Okay, I like it.
Here's the window.
It's crazy, AC, how times have changed. Back when you were there, we were 90% run and 10% pass.
More like 95% run and 5% pass.
and y'all didn't have face masks, but go ahead.
But now, we are legitimately, wide receiver U. So looking at this group, man, what do you like about this new crop of youngsters at wide receiver? And what's your first impression of these guys?
Man, I enjoy watching them. I think they have done it has definitely went to another level as far as our receiver gameplay. We had a great group when I played, but we didn't throw the ball as much. But this group that we have now, man, they phenomenal. The only one I know a lot about is JoJo Earl, just from the recruiting standpoint. I haven't watched a full game either the week before or this week. This past week to really get a really good feel on it. But going through the recruiting process, on paper they all legit. Yeah. I just think down the road, you go back from Julio 08, to Amari, to Ridley, all the way down the line. Coach Saban has done a phenomenal job recruiting some guys, but not just recruiting them, finding a way and creating opportunities for them to be the best player they can be.
Yeah.
He's used them multiple ways. What he did with Devontae last year, the motions, the shift. How he can line him up at the slot where the guy can be versatile, not just a slot outside. Same thing with Waddle in the return game. The game has just changed a little bit, man.
Right.
And those guys are phenomenal. I really enjoy watching them.
I think he found the best fit for them to be successful at whatever they do, whatever their skill set is, and he maximizes it, and it shows, man. So I'm looking forward to it. I honestly, man, I don't look for this to be a close game. I'm just saying, I don't.
Well, and just kind of go back a little bit, Coach Saban has always done a good job of getting my best on your best. Mm-hmm. If mine better than yours, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. He does a really great job schematically, getting his staff to buy in, to understand that his coordinators offensively, and then getting those position coaches to buy in, and then getting those receivers to see, okay, if you do this was going to happen because we're going to create something over here. We're going to motion, whatever, but we're going to create an opportunity for you to get one-on-one. So when you get a one-on-one opportunity, man, it's time to show up and show out.
Yeah.
I do have to say this, though. As we now in SEC play, and this is for the running back room, I think now Saban need to turn B-Rob loose.
Yep.
I think Saban need to turn Brian Robinson loose.
I agree.
Because these last two games, he's been running angry. He's been running well. He's even gotten a little faster. He's shown some wiggle there. Like he's breaking tackles, he's slipping tackles. I think now is the time that you give B-Rob more of the football.
Yeah, and I tell you now, and I was going to say this. I know you was talking. I know you guys. You said JoJo Earl breakout game. For me, this is going to be the week for us up front. I think our O-line is going to play phenomenal. I think we're going to run the ball well. I think B-Rob it is. I agree he's going to have a great game. I think this is going to be the coming out party for that physical Alabama football again, running the ball down your throat. But because of that, that's going to create space for those guys outside, and we're going to be able to throw the football well. It's going to help Bryce be calm and collected because we're going to be able to pound that football. I think we're going to have a great game up front.
But touching on that, Chris Owens took it personally, what happened last week. And then also, too, his game against Miami. He let some guys through, but he seems really dialed in now, actually a little pissed off, because he expects better of himself. So this is a game where I really look for him to be what he's capable of. And like you said, AC, seeing that offensive line finally become cohesive and be those monsters up front, man,
yes,
it's time.
I think we're going to do it, man. I think this is the coming out party for us to see that Najee Harris, that Damian Harris, that Mark Ingram, that Trent Richardson, where we just embarrassing. When you're watching a run, but on the backside, you see a tackle driving somebody to the ground. You're going to see a guard pulling and cleaning out that backer. I think it's going to be phenomenal up front. I think our run game has a coming out party to this weekend.
And another thing, man, like with when I go back to Ohio State, man. Like the last part of the game when B-Rob got in, Ohio State really didn't want to hit him, man. I don't know if you saw the whole game.
He stepped on like 3 dudes.
Yeah, they did not want to hit him, man.
He runs physical and downhill. So
yeah, and I don't know, man. I like Trey Sanders too, man. He's coming along too.
I'm ready for him. I like Trey. I like Trey. I like what Jace McClellan can give you also. But I'm just saying in a sense that these last 2 games, watching B-Rob run, it's like he running to something. Yeah. He's trying to prove a serious point because he's waited behind so many dudes. He's waited behind so many.
And I give the coach, I give my hats off to B-Rob. And I had an opportunity to speak with him this summer while I was down there working camp. And I can just see it in his eyes. I can see his work ethic. I was watching those guys in the weight room. He does. And I just want to salute the young man because he could have took his ball and ran.
That's true. That's true.
He could have went other places. But for him to stay committed to the process and understand that your time is going to come and just wait on it and be patient. And when your time comes, just do what you're supposed to do. And to be a hometown guy and to be loyal and to handle his business, man, salute to him. I'm so proud of B-Rob.
Yeah, man, he's from Tuscaloosa, man, and he's not letting the Tuscaloosa distractions get in his way. He's just doing. And the thing is, man, for you to be in a college and it's your hometown, it's all types of distractions, man.
No doubt. That's why
you got fat girls coming at you.
Yeah.
That's what got me. That's what got me.
But that's a big deal, and just to kind of talk about that a minute, that's a distraction to be the hometown hero.
The biggest distraction.
Yeah, man, it is, and man, for him to block that out, to stay focused, to stay locked in, and to perform the way he's performing, man. Again, I just want to salute the young man. I'm proud of him. I'm a big brother.
So we were talking a little bit about this earlier. Like you were saying, people gave us no chance going into the swamp after that loss to Louisiana Tech.
Right.
The deuce was wild. That deuce was wild. Not one DB had an answer. Talk about taking over that game, especially, man, you were a true freshman when you did that.
Man, it was a phenomenal opportunity. Man, I just kind of go back a little bit. I remember, you guys probably don't remember, but that Friday, we was loading the plane and Shamar Buchanan was ineligible. And so that's when I never forget. Yeah, Shamar Buchanan was a senior receiver. For whatever reason, had some off the field issues and wasn't able to play. I never forget getting down to the hotel and Coach Sweeney and Coach Charlie Stubbs, offensive coordinator, came and knocked on my room door in the hotel and was like, "Hey, she wanted to talk to you." And they said, "You're gonna start tomorrow." And most young guys, you get nervous, but I tell you, man, I was super excited. Coach Sweeney had done a phenomenal job preparing me. I worked my tail off. It's always next man up, and I've always loved the game of football. So I went into that game not as a starter, prepared, ready to play. And so when he came in and told me that, man, I lit up like a firework. And I remember Coach Sweeney kept saying, "Are you ready?" And hammering some things down and going over this. And I was kind of smiling, and Coach Sweeney like, "Hey, see, I'm serious. He was trying to, and I looked at him straight in the eye. I said, "Coach, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play, man. I'm excited about the opportunity. You have done a phenomenal job preparing me. Tim Bowens and Freddie Millins and Jason McCadley. I watched those guys. I was waiting on my chance. So, man, I was excited about it. And, hey, I took over.
And lost your mind down there in this pump. I'm like, what's wrong with him? I was like, man, is AC on drugs again? I'm like, yeah.
Seriously. I mean, you were talking about you getting your first start, in that game in '99. So this is Bryce Young's first start coming in right here. How quickly did it take you to settle into that atmosphere?
It's always that first lick for me. It's always that first tackle, whether it's a big one or small one. That's when the jelly beans get out for me, that first lick, man. So, once I got that first lick, and really it was on a run play, going up and block, making contact. It's like, okay, I'm ready to play some football now. So for me, it was that first lick.
I was going to say the coin toss, man. You were ready even on that, brother.
Oh, yeah, ain't no doubt about it, man. I was, again, I was around some great leaders, guys was in that locker room. We knew we had an opportunity to win that game. It was never a doubt to us that we was going to lose. It was never a doubt to us. I mean, that senior class of freshmen that came in, myself, Kenny King, Gerald Dixon, Salim Rashid, Jared Dunkson. Man, we were some dogs, Herschel Bolden. We were some freshmen that came in ready to play.
Hey, man, this is true, because I think all of them came in at like 24, 25, I think. They came.
I mean, think about it, man. All of us contributed to that freshman signing class. All the 5-star, you hear about this class, number one. Man, I put our 99 freshman class up against any one of them that Coach Saban had signed. That 99 class up. Man, we would have some great athletes, some great football players, but not just that. We loved the game, and we came in hungry, ready to work.
Y'all were mass robbers, man. Y'all were mass robbers.
No, man, we came in ready to work. And it was phenomenal.
And you spoke a little bit earlier about Andrew Zau's leadership, and it really was on the forefront of that game. That guy, I mean, he really stepped up as a leader. And I remember that even though he had a pick six at one point in the game, it didn't shake him at all, man. He just stepped in there on the very next series like a veteran and just kept doing this thing. Man, if you would, man, touch a little bit on his leadership during that game.
Man, Zau was always a great guy. Humble, calm, but when he spoke, you listened because he knew it had substance to it. Yeah. And so, man, Zau was a phenomenal leader. He was focused. Again, I mean, you don't win that type of game without everyone being mentally
dialed in,
mentally tough, mentally in tune. And that week, Zau was locked in. I mean, we won that game that week of preparation. I remember it like it was yesterday. Tuesday practice, full pass, Zau throwing dimes. I mean, 10 for 10. I mean, from warm-ups to routes on air till we finished practice. He had a phenomenal week, man. But it led throughout the whole game. That was the kind of person Zau was. That was his work ethic. Wasn't nothing too hard. I mean, he was soft-spoken, but I tell you what, he was a hard worker. He was humble, and I enjoyed every minute playing with him, man. That's my big brother. I love him to death.
Yeah, without a doubt. So late in the game, AC Florida just scored. They were ahead of us. Got the 2-point conversion. We obviously knew where the ball was going to go next. Can you talk about going up high, climbing that ladder, and getting that TD in the back of the end zone?
Hold your stick, Carter.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all a little story since we live, and I'm gonna put y'all in on it.
Oh, I tell you, he finna admit he was on drugs that game.
Attention, Steve. It's
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey,
He's gonna give his testimony.
Hey, see, you ain't got to do this, bro.
Zal, I tell you this, Zal was trying to throw the ball away.
Oh wow! You would have been got it though.
He was trying to throw it at the back of the end zone, and I
For real?
That, I wasn't even in that read. I was like the third, fourth receiver. I wasn't even. I had a clear out seam, but when we were so close to the red zone. When I get to the back of the end zone, my job was just to run that back line. Find the open hole, don't run out of bounds, stay legal, stay open. And so I just cleared that guy out. Zal tried to throw the ball away. But, man, hey, again, that 99 class, that want to, that hunger, that drive, that want to win, that refuse to lose, that competitive mentality, I'm going up and get it. I tell my guys that I work with now, the ball in the air is my ball. And if it's in my radius, I'm going to get the rock. So, man, I had to go get it.
Yeah, you went and got that. I'm like, where the hell he come from? Yes. I mean, he jumped. I was watching he jumped off the screen and came back. As a matter of fact, he was in somebody else's commercial. I'm like, wait a minute.
Listen, so I'll never forget.
Hey, man.
I run to the sideline.
Look, AC caught the ball, came down the head and shoulders commercial, and then they put him back on TV.
I'm like, man, what the hell happened?
So listen, no, seriously. So I catch it, I score, do my thing, I run to the sideline, dude. No kidding. I get to the sideline. Zal runs up to me and grabs my pad. His eyes is wide open. He said, "Bro, I was trying to throw the ball away."
Hey, you know what? I would have showed took credit for it. Like, nah, they drew that play up. They told me to go high. I was gonna go.
Yes. Hey, but listen, guys. Before we talk a little bit more, that's the Bama way.
Yeah,
You're gonna find a way to win. It may look hard, it may whatever, but that's the kind of if you're gonna put on that crimson jersey, that's the mindset. That's the do whatever it takes to get it done.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
What was the trash talk like in that game, man? What were those DBs doing?
Oh, hey, I was on fire.
Yeah, I know you were.
Hey, Lito. Hey, Lito Shepherd, because me and him came out together. Also 99. Played with DB at Florida, man. All day. Before that week, he's from Florida, from Jacksonville. We got mutual friends. Bro, he was talking trash. We didn't have cell phones back then, but I was getting the messages that he was going to lock me down and this and that. So I knew it was me and him all night long when we talked trash, but it was so much fun. So much fun, it was.
Hey, man, I wish I was. I wish I would have been able to hook up with you before the game. I would have gave you some stuff to get you kicked out the game. I would have gave you some stuff to say.
Why would you want to do that, bro?
I would have gave you some stuff to say.
Listen, it was fun. It was a trash going on. But the player, we were so excited. They was full of adrenaline as well. But man, I tell you, that game was awesome.
Stephen M., when you look at AC, man, who does he remind you of in this current wide receiver room?
Man, that's a tough question, man. That's a loaded question.
He is one of a kind.
He is. You know what? Who does he remind me of? That's a good question.
No,
John Mechie. I go John Mechie.
Hey, AC, you like what? You 5 what?
About 5'8". I say
5'8", yeah.
I claim 5'9", though. I claim 5'9".
We about the same height.
Okay.
Yeah, I look in your bullets. I can.
Hey, no. I'm only 5'8" when I wear my prosthetic shoes. You know them. The shoes with the thick heel. Yeah, with the thick heel.
That's it.
I'm really 5'4", but I put them shook.
See, and it's so fun that we're doing it, man. Me and the guys, we talk about it all the time. As former players about, Coach Saban has done a phenomenal job, and you think about the players and what's going on there now. But guys, that 99, we was some football players. We were really, really talented, man. We was a good football team. We was a really good football team.
Hey man, I this you making me miss Marvin because Marvin swear up and down his era was that era, his era.
I do, man. I truly, I want to sit here and say it, and I had opportunity to work with Coach Saban. I think he's done a phenomenal job again. But I tell you, bro, we had some really good football teams. I know it was a lot of turmoil. I know we had a lot of changes going on as far as the staff. You're talking about football team. You're talking about being united. You're talking about having each other back. You're talking about B-side 5. You're talking about when one went, 30 went. We didn't go nowhere without each other. We did everything together. We were a great team. We loved each other. We ate together. We did. I mean, it was just a great time in the Alabama era in that time.
You're absolutely right, man. One of the biggest things.
Look, y'all also kept Mike Dubose on contract.
Yeah, I know that's right.
And it's funny you mentioned that. That team faced so much adversity, so much outside noise, so much distraction. But the thing is, man, y'all didn't bat an eye. Y'all played like y'all were going for the national title every minute of every game. You didn't care what was going on in the outside world.
And you should have beaten Tom Brady, the kicker. Ryan Fluke, man. Ryan Fluke, man.
Kind of Justin, what you said, man, that's exactly right. That was the mindset. And I talk to these young people now, and I watch that focus, that mentality to I'm gonna do what I have to do to take care of my business.
Right.
Then we didn't. That wasn't our concern. We controlled what we could control, and that was our performance. Going to class, taking care of our business off the field, but showing up to work hard every single day. What the coaches had going on, we knew about it. In one end, out the other. Our job was to play football. It was to our fans. We owed our fans to get them our best. And that was a mentality, personally, I took every day. That when they brought their tickets, when they came to see AC play, they want the best.
Yeah.
I owe them the best. Ain't no compromising. Ain't no mediocre. I'm going
to
show out.
I love it.
Supposed to get the best. And that's what that's what it's all about, man.
I love it. That's
not just me, all of us. That was that team. That we're going to show up and show out because we owe it to our fans.
Love it.
Your group definitely did commit to showing up in every arena. Matter of fact, your group was in every class. I vouch for this, Steve. They showed up to every class on time, and they were doing their thing in the classroom.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Now at first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I came in with a little pride. Like, I got it going on. I'm starting. I'm at Alabama. Again, the Sean Alexanders, the Chris Samuels, the Cornelius Griffin, the Andrew Zhao. When I would show up late with Miss Study Hall, they would meet me at that locker room door. AC, what's up, man? Why you ain't in class today? Why you was late to this? Why you missing that? They held us accountable, man. That leadership was awesome. And again, every great team I've been around, the policing was done within the locker room. If the coaches was doing the policing, hey, that's what you're going to get. But when your players, when your peer holds you accountable, when you are a leader among your peers, and that's what Zal, Chris Samuel, Sean Alexander, that's what them guys were, man. They held us accountable.
So, AC, in your opinion, where have you seen that peer leadership drop off from how strong it was in your time? Where have you seen that peer leadership kind of drop off?
You know what? I can't really go into detail as far as this dropping off because it can't drop off too far because we're winning.
Yeah.
And, I think Coach Saban has a lot to do with it. I really do. I think Coach Saban holds everyone accountable. And he don't care who you are. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you won't play. And he showed that. You can go back to 07 when I was their GM with Keith Brown and DJ Hall. We lost because he refused to play them guys. If you ain't going to do what you're supposed to do off the field, you're not going to play. At the end of the day, this is the extracurricular activity. You are a student athlete. It comes second. If you're not taking care of your business off the field, you're not going to play for Coach Saban. So I think he holds everyone accountable.
Hey, man, I remember the year we beat Clemson. I think we had Ashawn Robinson and I think Ashawn Robinson had to get on Tony Brown.
That was Ashawn. That was Reggie.
Reggie. Yeah, they had to, they had to put from what I heard, they had to put hands on him for real. So
they did. They put hands on Tony. They put Tony on the bus, and the bus took Tony back down to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question, you don't win like you're winning and not have leadership.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen.
The leadership is there. Again, I don't know them guys personal. I'm not there every day, but I'm just watching the play. I'm just watching the product on the field. There's some leaders in that locker room, and they're doing a phenomenal job, and I'm proud of my little brothers, man.
Well, man, you got to be proud of yourself because y'all set the standard, man. Y'all set the standard.
Ain't no doubt about it. And the guys before me, Sam Shea, all those guys that came around when I was there, good friend of mine, David Palmer, those guys came with George T. Those guys came around and showed us, hey, man, this is what it's going to be like to be team. If you're going to party together. If you're going to go eat together. If you're going to do something, do it together. And so, man, when you do that, you're willing to do whatever it takes for that guy next to you. It ain't about you. You remove yourself. You start thinking before you make that decision, man, if I do wrong, I'm letting Freddie down. I'm going to let Jason McCadley down. I'm going to let Coach Sweeney down. You start off with the guys in your room first. And then I start thinking about, man, my roommate, Gerald Dixon, I'm going to let him down. Antonio Beard. It goes, that start playing in your head. And when you got something inside of you, you refuse to let your brothers down.
That's what's up, man.
Like Craig Young has a question from the audience. He said, the deuce is loose. Who was open?
Man, I try to get over there. Like all receivers, that's one thing. I want the ball. I was open every time. I knew me and Zal get in there. I come to them like, Zal, man, we done got it printed all the time. Man, throw me that ball. Right now. But not just
open.
And I know we've been talking about Zal, but I'll tell you, Tyler Watts was a phenomenal leader for us.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Watts did some great things. He held us accountable as well and did some great things for us while he was there. But just speak on the Florida game, Zal was that guy.
All right, well, look, whatever you do, don't Tyler Watts, yes, all right, yeah, I remember him, Zal. Now, if you say Freddie Kitchens was a leader, now I'm gonna have to find you and fight you. I'm gonna have to find you and fight you, man. I'm gonna have to find you and fight you. Hey, man, Freddie Kitchens would throw the ball so hard and then knock the knob off the TV. I'm like, damn.
But man, that 99 game was fun, man. We came together and we got it done, and that's what it's all about. Those the memories, and when you talk about even the legacy.
Hey man, y'all right. You're right. Y'all did everything together, even beat up folks at the Citizens Club. You want to expound on that?
We're going to show that clip real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, somebody gets stomped out in the bathroom. Yeah.
That was a great thing.
So the 99 team, y'all took Tupac's chain, all right?
I did everything.
Field.
Did everything.
Man, that's what it was. If you mess with one, you mess with all. Yeah. And I think those guys kind of got
y'all took Tupac's chain. Y'all took it.
Yeah. we was one heartbeat, man. We was one heartbeat.
Probably the biggest stat of that game was y'all snapped that 30-game home win streak in the Swamp and beat Steve Spurrier. So, man, how big was that for the program?
Man, that was phenomenal for the program.
He was so ugly after this. Steve Spurrier was. You ever seen that look where somebody want to laugh and cry at the same time? Ever since that loss, Steve Spurrier has worn that look. Ever since that loss, even until now.
I'm gonna tell you, Spurrier went into depression, man. He walked off the field like he was going dead into depression.
Man, that was a big win for the program, for the culture, for the fans, for everyone, and that's what it's all about, man. I'll never in my life forget it. Probably the greatest game in my history. They always talk about the Bama greats. Me personally, that's my favorite. That's going to always be my favorite. Again, not just about the scoreboard, but how we had just lost to La Tech. Now we got an off week. And we had 2 weeks to really soak in getting beat at home 4 overtimes. La Tech, we lost. It was just, but we came together. all what was going on with our coaches. I mean, it was so many things off the field going on, but how we united, how the seniors brought us together, and how we just really buckled down and went to work, put our blockers on, man, and just went in and took care of business, and it showed on that Saturday.
Before we go into our closing segment, AC, I know you're a motivational speaker. If you're in the locker room right now, our guys are getting ready to come out on that field. What's your message to them?
Hey, look to your left and your right. It ain't about you. Put your guy beside you. Put your brother first. Go out and give it. I got two things. I give this to my kids: great effort and have fun. If you're doing those two things, if you're playing fast, if you're playing physical, and you're giving it everything you got, good things are gonna happen. You ain't got to look at the scoreboard. I just tell those guys, man, go out there, lock the gate. Don't let them loose till you're done with them. Just give great effort and go have fun, man. It's game day, man. You're gonna be on CBS. You in all white, in that crimson and white. You're gonna look good. You're gonna have your Nike swoosh showing. It's game time. You look good. You feel good. You play good. I just go out there and do your thing.
Hey, man, you know what? I tell my boys all the time. It don't cost nothing to give that effort.
Come on, man. I can't. If I got to tell you to giddy up, I don't want you.
That's right. Hey, man, my thing is, my you know what, when I was coaching little league and middle school and all that, I'm like, man, if you doing it wrong and you doing it the wrong way, but you giving it 100%, I'm still good with you because you can be taught. You can be taught, but as long as you give an effort, I'm great. I'm great.
I'm telling you, man. So that would be my words to those guys tomorrow, man. Have fun. Go out there and play. I mean, look at your left to your right.
I tell you what, you just motivated me because I'm going to go to the club tonight and give everything I got to beat this dude that's been beating me for the last 4 weeks. I'm going to give effort. I know he going to win, but I'm going all the way in. I'm going all the way in.
But I'm excited for those young men. It's gonna be awesome. It's an honor for those guys. They need to seize the moment and enjoy it. Seize the moment. Go out there and have fun, man. Give it everything you got for your brother.
Absolutely. Of course, we can't close things out without going around the room and giving our prediction. So, fellas, I want y'all to tell me what's going to happen. AC, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what's going to happen. Give me a score. Give me a player of the game. What you got?
Man, like I said earlier, man, I think this is our game for our O-line and our run game. This is our coming out party. I think we run the ball really well. I think the defense makes some big stops. I think we make a big stop late. I think it's going to be a great football game early. I think it turns after halftime after we done just beat them down with the run game. And my prediction is 31-10 Bama.
Woo, I love it. Love it. Stephen M., what you got?
Let's see here. I'm gonna go with 38-14 Bama. I think this is the game right here where Bill O'Brien opens things up this game. I think Bryce Young has a big show.
All right, Steve Brown.
I'm thinking 35-14.
I like
35-14.
You got a player of the game?
It would be. I'm gonna say B-Rob.
All right.
He got B-Rob 120 rushing yards.
I really feel like B-Rob is about to have a big game where he just explodes and goes nuts. Yeah. He's due.
I mean, if you want to talk about the support behind this man, like Johnny Jackson owns a camp where he owns a warehouse in Northport, the JPI Performance Center, and Johnny Jackson discovered Brian Robinson out there. Now, me personally, I self-scouted B-Rob in high school. I went to a bunch of Hillcrest games, and I saw the talent that dude has. He do. Like, B-Rob is due.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, man, AC, we appreciate you being on, brother. It was a true blessing. If you would, man, for the folks who are still big fans, I know there are a lot, tell them how they can find you on social media. I know you just joined Facebook, so you're getting involved. You're getting involved.
But, I'm finna trolling. I'm a troller.
You can find me on Facebook, Antonio Carter, man, and what an honor, what a blessing. I'm right here in Alabaster with me and my family, my wife and I. We recently opened up a bakery here in Alabaster, Alabama.
That's what's up.
You know, the Lord has been blessed with, man. And so,
hey, see, let me get some of them cookies, man.
come on,
Let me get some of them cookies.
I know, man.
So I'm right here in Alabaster, but you can find me on Facebook at Antonio Carter on Facebook. Again, I'm not a social media. My wife handles all of my administrative things. She take care of me. I don't know if I can do it without her. But
That's what's up.
I just thank you guys so much, Justin, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. Roll Tide for life, man. Be sci-fi.
Yes, sir.
All day.
All right, guys. Great show. Enjoyed it as always. Let's go to the swamp and drain it again. Roll Tide.
There it is. Hey, man, good seeing y'all, man. All right, brother.
See y'all.